Besides wanting to know market conditions, what's happening where you live, or just seeing pictures of pretty homes, most people really don't think about how a real estate transaction works until they have to be an active participant. Well, this one might be a little bit interesting to you, and even if you're not new to buying or selling, you might want to listen to this. It's all about how does a realtor get paid? Hi, I'm Jill Thomas with Berkshire Hathaway, HomeServices, Florida Realty, and I'm here to share with you 3 things to know about how a realtor you hire makes their money. There's still some misconceptions out there on how a realtor gets paid or how they make any money. So here are 3 things to help clear that up with a bonus tip at the end for buyers. Number 1, a realtor does not get paid until they get to the closing table. It's all commission. All real estate agents are independent contractors. Now, the only exception to this might be for new construction, and that's structured a little differently between those licensed agents and builders. But anybody that you're going to work with to help you buy a home or list your house, they're going to be independent contractors. So what this means is the brokerage that they work for does not pay them anything. So if they come into the office to work, they do floor time, they hold an open house, the brokerage doesn't pay them. We don't get paid based on how many homes we show or for securing a listing. In fact, every penny that we spend on marketing, which is flyers or postcards, education, anything, it's all on us, not our brokerage. And it isn't until that home is sold, paperwork signed, and monies are transferred that we get a check. I always say it's all volunteer work until we close. Number 2, typically the sellers pay for both the listing agent and the selling agent, or also called the buyer's agent. In the listing agreement, a seller is going to agree to what percentage they're going to pay to get their home listed and sold. Then the listing agreement also states specifically how that commission is broken down between the listing agent and the selling agent. Typically it's an even split, but not always. And then the seller usually doesn't have to pay anything until that home is closed. So if there's special circumstances though, the listing agent and the seller might agree that the seller is going to pay for some things out of pocket before closing, or if they were to cancel that listing agreement early. So as we've learned already, number 1, the brokerage doesn't pay the agent anything to do any work. And then number 2, it's typical that the seller is going to pay the commission for both the listing agent and the selling agent. But number 3, there's some realtors out there that require buyers they work with to sign an agreement before they even go and look at homes. Now, in this agreement, it's going to state 2 main things. Number 1, that the buyer is going to stay loyal to that agent that they work with, go around, look at homes, and then to write up a contract. They're not going to use more than one agent. And then the other thing that agreement typically states is that if the commission that the seller is offering to that buyer's agent is less than a certain amount, the buyer is going to make up the difference. Now, I've never used this document. I just kind of figure if somebody doesn't want to work with me, then I'd rather have them move on and feel comfortable with somebody else. And then I've just always dealt with whatever the commission is that's being offered to the buyer's agent. But here's a little extra bonus tip for for buyers out there. Okay, as I mentioned in point 3, I don't use that buyer's agreement at all. And there's a lot of agents that don't either. But please know that yes, you can work with multiple buyer's agents to help you find a house, to do research and, whatever, to help you understand the whole process. But like, as I had mentioned before, it's all volunteer work until we get to the closing table. So if you're using up the time of multiple agents and you do buy something, only one person is going to get paid out of those agents that you use. And they could have really used their time with someone else. So please don't think that just because you're using more than one agent to help you look at homes, that you're going to get better service. If you feel comfortable with an agent, how they communicate, you feel like they get you, then just stay loyal to that agent. Please don't go around using multiple agents to help you find a property. And suppose you do start working with somebody and you just don't feel comfortable with them, that's okay. You can just officially break ties with them and then move on. Don't lead them on at all, and just stay loyal. And then once you do find that realtor that you like to work with, just say, hey, you're my agent. I'm going to stick with you. If I walk into an open house, I'm going to tell that agent, the realtor at the open house, I've got a realtor. I'm working with him or her, and I'm staying loyal. And that means the world to a realtor when you know that you've got a loyal customer and they're not going to waste your time. And so it just is very motivational and encouraging to an agent when they hear that from a buyer. Like I said, it's all volunteer work until we close. Well, I hope this gives you a general understanding of how a realtor gets paid. Now keep in mind, these statements probably apply 98% of the time, and there could be some situations and arrangements that might be structured a little differently. And I suppose there could be greater variations in other markets, but this is what's typical in our area. Now, as always, don't hesitate to call me if you want more information on real estate or how a realtor gets paid. And if you're watching this, that means that you're on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube. So please be sure to like, follow, friend, subscribe. And if you're on YouTube, also hit that notification bell. Thanks for joining me. I'm Jill Thomas with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Florida Realty.